this is going to be...
Wait, are we looking at the camera?
Jordyn.
Are we looking at each other?
Because I said we were rolling, we're rolling. So that means your questions are going to be included in this. So I guess the answer would be...
I'm looking at you. I'm just kidding.
This would be so weird. If I'm talking to you and you're just like this right here.
I'm ready for my close-up. Let's go.
This is the first episode we've ever done this far outside of my expertise. I know almost nothing about so much of what you do. And so I appreciate you being willing. This may be a very non-satisfying endeavor for you, but I'm made of questions. So thank you for jumping on.
And I love to yap.
This is going to work great.
So this is going to work out really well for both of us.
We met in Phoenix at the Hondo.
Yes,
with
the
Ross.
Hondo Rodeo.
Shout out Ross, who for some reason was not here this week. Poor choice.
He's hunting.
But it's the NFR. You know what I mean?
I'm happy to be here.
This is your first one.
My very first one.
Are they? I thought if you had that accent, you had to go to the NFR before you were 10 or give it up.
I thought so too.
What?
I'm going to blame that on my parents.
Where was home before Nashville?
Mississippi. I'm from Okolona, Mississippi, not to be confused with Oklahoma.
Okolona?
Okolona. Yes, very close to Tupelo, the birthplace of Elvis. So it's only like 4 hours from Nashville. I'm very fortunate. I can just hop in the car and go.
Sweet.
Yeah, and I go home a good bit. Very close with my family. How
is it that Nashville doesn't really have that accent and Mississippi 4 hours away does?
I don't know how that works. I grew up in the middle of nowhere. And so my accent was very thick when I first moved to Nashville.
Give me an example. Hold on.
It's kind of been toned down just a little bit.
You have to like draw each word out just like a little bit.
I would say, I met somewhere in the middle.
Do you feel like that you've intentionally sort of dialed it down, or is it just kind of falling off?
No. I think it's just from being around people from other places and,
Do you feel like the longer you're in Nashville, the more you like sound, the accent would be more described as like Instagrammy?
Instagrammy? I don't know.
I don't know what Instagrammy is.
I don't know, because people are still like, wow, you have such a southern drawl. I'm like, you should have heard me 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
We got some really good friends in Jackson, Mississippi, and I remember my little boy one time, he's got a really good ear. He's 17 now, he's not a little boy, but I went into the room, I said, what are you guys doing? And he'd been with our friends for a couple hours. I said, what are you guys doing? He goes, jumping on the bed. And I'm like, knock it off. You do not have it. You've been 2 hours. That is not real. I love it. I do feel like longer there, it would get into you.
I think the best thing to listen to is a super southern accent from like a 5 or 6 year old kid.
Yes. That and old people swearing.
Music to my ears.
That and old people who swear.
Exactly.
So after the event, I was talking to somebody about Ross, and you came up, and they go, she was on Farmer Wants a Wife. I will tell you, I've heard of that. That's it. That's as far as I know. We're gonna do a Q&A. I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna tell you what I think, and then you give me like a yes or no on my guesses.
I like this game.
Is this fair?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. There is one guy.
There's 4 guys.
Okay, I'm off to a good start. And are they all on the show separately, or are they all 4 in the same setting?
So you all start out in the same setting. We started in Alabama, but each of the 4 guys gets 8 girls. So they're not swapping girls or anything.
Well, what happens if you get there and you're like, well, like...
You get who you were matched with. So you go through a matching process before, and they decide who they want to pair you up with, and then you show up. I think some of the girls didn't know who they were getting matched with. I knew who I was getting matched with because that's the only way I was going on there.
Was to give it a shot with that one.
Yeah, well, with my...
Okay, hold on. We're starting over because I feel like we're going to get ahead of ourselves. You grew up in Mississippi, you go to Nashville, you're a singer. That is like the trajectory, right?
Yeah, singer-songwriter.
When did the opportunity for the show and you even intersect in the first place? Because I know literally nothing. Did they find you? Do you reach out? What's the initiation?
So it turns out it is my little cousin Lucy Kate's favorite TV show. And
you said her name's Lucy Kate?
Lucy Kate.
Shout out,
yes,
Lucy Kate.
Shout out. And my mom and aunt are obsessed. I had never seen the show before, and they're like, I'd gone through a crazy breakup.
Ooh, tell me all about it. Was it his fault or yours?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay, so it was yours. Keep going.
And anyway, of course, my mom and my aunt are like, you need to go on this show. I was like, I can't do that.
Your mom and your aunt thought that a love on TV, that was...
Yeah, they were super supportive. Also, it's a very wholesome show. It's not really like
Bachelor.
a Love Island or Bachelor.
Oh God, yeah.
It's like the Yeehaw Bachelor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeehaw Bachelor.
Bachelor Yellowstone
signed you
style.
up.
Yeah, so they're like, you should do it. I'm like, no, I can't do this. Like, what? And then they finally, I got a message from someone on Instagram who had a casting agent had messaged me about doing a game show. I was like, I'm not that quick on my feet. Like, I don't think I want to do a game show.
Not at all to interrupt, but with you in a music career, you're in an interesting spot where exposure is not the worst thing in the world, but you're always probably kind of balancing. Like, I don't want to be known as, but exposure is not necessarily a bad thing, but you don't want to be that person who's chasing it. Does it feel like there's kind of always a little bit of a juggling act of how much to say yes to and how much to say no to?
Yeah, for sure. I think that when I was in my early 20s, I was just so live and die by career, have to be, I really wanted to do the music thing, and I still want to do the music thing, but as you get older, it's like my number one dream is to have a family, and I want to get married and have kids. Yeah. And so, as time goes on, it's like, I think that dreams can change.
No, they should.
Yeah.
Imagine how dumb you would feel if you still were locked onto a dream. Think of some of the dumb things you thought as a teenager. If you still thought those things,
right,
that's not good. So a dream is updated by life experience and different perspectives, and I think it's supposed to update.
Yeah, and who says you can't have both? It just might look a little different than you originally thought. And not to say that I'm giving up music or anything like that, but when that casting agent for the game show had said, well, have you ever heard of Farmer Wants a Wife? I was like, oh boy, you have no clue. My mom and aunt,
it was almost like it was meant to be. It had already been talked about, and then when the ball is on the tee, it's kind of like, well.
Right, yeah. So I felt like so many people were saying it to me, and everything happened so fast.
You're like,
once
I think Jesus wants me on Farmer Wants a Wife.
It's like the Lord was speaking to me. If you ask the Lord for a sign, He will give it to you. Seriously. Okay. So, I did the application online.
What's that like? Is it just written, or do you have to send in pictures, videos?
It's written at first, and you send in a few pictures and videos, and then I immediately heard back, I think the next day, and then you send in a bunch of videos and a bunch of pictures, and kind of just do a Zoom interview and tell your story, and they see if they have someone that they could match you with that would be a good fit.
It feels like, to me, there's an opportunity. How do I say this? If somebody goes into it genuinely, it may not be as fun to watch. So if I'm the one that's trying to sell sponsors, there's the opportunity. I'm not saying it's this, but there's the opportunity if they're like, man, this is not going to work for its stated purpose, but this chick is going to be crazy and the ratings are going to be amazing. Yeah. So how do you, without having experienced it yet, how do you know which one you're getting into? Is this exploitive is this for ratings, or did you get the sense they genuinely are hoping this works?
I have said this before, and I kind of wish that I had gone into it with a little more of the mindset of, oh, I'm doing this for fun. This will be a fun experience.
But
no big
instead
deal.
You had what?
But for me, I think that I had just gone through that crazy breakup, and I was like, this is meant to be. What are the chances that I'm going to end up on this show? I'm finding my husband.
Do you think the producers had a moment where they're like, terrible breakup? She seems vulnerable. We found our girl.
Probably.
She catches you like a bad fight.
Probably.
Rough. So you go in, but everybody wants to believe in happily ever after in their own version, whatever that means, right?
Right,
and
yeah.
so maybe, like, who knows? So,
well, that was me, is I'm like, what are the chances that I'm going to get chosen to go on this farm show?
Yeah.
Like, this is meant to be. This is why I've had to go through all this crazy stuff, is because I'm going to find my husband on TV. And
it's like the Bible says, look for a husband on a television show. And no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, I do wish I had gone into it being a little less serious about the process.
Yeah.
And then I think that I had a blast, but I think I would have had less pressure on myself. But I really, I was a little older, one of the older girls too. So us older girls are like, hey, we're ready to find our person.
Right.
So yeah.
So, okay. For being in sort of a public position, I feel incredibly private about things. Like, I hate feeling exposed, or like people know my life. The idea of a dating show to me is almost like my definition of hell, because you're letting people witness the good or the bad. If it goes really, really good, you've let them in on that. And it's like, well, I don't want y'all knowing everything, right? But if it goes really, really bad, then it's like, there's nowhere to hide. And you're going in, I feel like this would be just like the perfect recipe to expose insecurities, because you're not on a date. Right. You're there with 4 other girls. So how do you, and so I'm only saying this to preface like my own perspective of like, how do you even prepare to go into something like that?
I didn't have time to prepare because it all happened so fast.
How far from yes to shooting was there?
2 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
And so, you have to think during that time, you have to do like background checks, a psych check, a CD testing.
Did you have to pass it or just take it?
You have to pass it. I passed.
I didn't mean you. I just meant in general.
You also have to pack and get all your clothes together. You're there for a little over a month, and they send you like a list
That's
of
a
all the
long
things
time.
that you need. So you don't even really have time to get your thoughts together.
Right.
You don't have time to go see the therapist before you go.
Like, what am I going to pack? Let's start with the Bible,
right.
And then like some candles.
Yeah, I took my Bible, took my devotional. I did a devotional every morning with the girls. It was great.
So, at very least, the concept of dating that I understand is this: is there's always that awkward, like, you kind of talk for a little bit, and then maybe like, hey, maybe we should get like dinner, or there's this sort of like slow over time progression, and like, you don't want to be the guy that like calls immediately, or like, there's sort of a dance to it all, right? None of that is present on a reality show.
Right.
The rules are completely different.
It's totally different, and you're really up against the clock, especially for someone like me. I grew up in the South. I'm very reserved. I think that the guy should pursue the girl. So it kind of puts you in a weird position, having that mentality of like, you only have so much time with the person.
Right.
So
then it almost feels
tough.
It feels rushed.
Right.
So
it feels
no
very
nuance.
rushed, and you really don't get time with the person, because when you're off camera, they don't want you being around the person because they want everything on camera.
Okay. So at the end of day one, and we don't have to go day by day by day, but at the end of day one, for what you expected it could be, you get in there, now you're experiencing it. At the end of day one, what was the takeaway? When you're like done for the day, what was your internal monologue?
Well, first of all, whenever you go there, you immediately go on lockdown, and you are in a hotel room with no phone, you're just sitting there with your thoughts, and you just have to stay there. You can watch TV.
Can you talk, are you like with the other contestants, or you're alone?
No.
You're alone?
Yeah, so you go on lockdown for, I think it was like 2.5 days until you start filming. Then you film for 2 days, but it looks like 1 day.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, it went really well for me that first couple days. I got the first one-on-one date. I went into it. I didn't expect for them to want to tell my musical story or anything like that. I didn't know what to expect because I've never done anything like this before, and I went.
Well,
they
you don't
called
want to be
me.
the one that like walks in announcing the
You
music thing.
don't want to be the one that's like, hey,
yeah,
here's
yeah.
I've got
Hey,
my guitar.
Get him out of the way. I want you guys to know what.
Right.
They've
so
almost got to ask, probably.
That's you kind of put your life in the hands of the producers and the storytellers. The producers film everything, then they send it to the storytellers, and that's where I think things can get a little wonky.
But is wonky a different way of saying mean-spirited?
I don't know.
I'll say it. It feels like
It just feels
like the potential for that.
The thing is that the producers called me the day before. They're like, do you have songs that you could sing? Can you bring your guitar? I was like, absolutely, I'd love to.
Sure.
It felt like they were super supportive of my career,
Yeah.
and I think in a way they were, but there's also this.
There's 1,000 ways to tell a story from the same footage.
Right,
For sure.
exactly. And
absolutely fair.
you have meetings with the producers, and they're like, do you want to sing? I was like, I'd really rather wait to sing and
yeah, you don't want to just walk on
let him
set.
get to know
Yeah.
my personality first, and see if we click. And they were like, well, we'll give you a little extra time. You can sing, and you can have because you get 10 minutes on the first date. So you can have your conversation and you can sing. I said, okay, I'm only doing a chorus because I don't want to spend 3 whole minutes singing this song, and you guys are going to use 20 seconds.
Did you feel like you could have said no? Or do you feel like you kind of needed to say yes just to play along?
I did kind of say no in a way, and we really want you to.
If you got any amount of people pleaser in you at all,
and I am a people pleaser.
You kind of want to like, okay, I guess I can do it.
Right? Yeah. So I did it, and of course, all that's shown on TV is me singing.
They
no
got their
conversation.
Clip. They got their clip.
Yeah, which I'm so grateful.
How'd it sound?
For that?
Honestly, when you watch it back, were you like, that sounds all right? Or was it like, oh, the acoustics are bad?
I feel like they didn't have microphones for singing. They had speaking microphones, and you're a podcaster, that's different.
Yep.
But it was fine. I was so grateful for the opportunity to share my music, and it's been the show as a whole has been such a blessing in my life.
Did you make friends with any of the other girls?
Oh yeah.
Did you make enemies?
No. I'm friends with all the girls, and we still all talk, and we're close. I'm friends with the farmer too.
You are?
Yeah, it's all like.
Is there okay?
It feels kind of like that was just
an experience,
a dream.
Yeah.
And we're all friends now, and it's great. Yeah.
I don't know. I think especially the older I've gotten, I hope this is true. I don't know if it's true, but I hope this is true.
Yeah.
I hope I'm able to take every experience, and instead of me categorizing it the way that I want to categorize it, if this was this or this was that, I hope I've gotten better about like not holding on to anything too tightly. Of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, that was an experience. What was it? I don't know. Like, it wasn't
Absolutely.
terrible, but like it's
Right.
all right. Like maybe someday down the road I'll look back and I'm like, oh, I could see some usefulness to that, or I learned that there, or whatever. And man, the stress of it, because I think everybody wants to know what's the outcome.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, I met the girls on that show were so incredible, and Matt was my farmer. His name's Matt. There were 3 other farmers. I didn't get to know them quite as well, but everyone's just. The crew was incredible.
Do they make y'all do like actual farming stuff?
Yeah, we did. We picked avocados and planted some passion fruit. Picked finger limes. They're these little limes from Australia, and my farm was in California, so I kind of went into the experience thinking, I'm from Mississippi. I'm used to like pigs and chickens, cows. I thought we're about to be riding horses. This is going to be awesome.
Right.
I want to play with the animals. And no, I was in California on an avocado orchard.
What happens on that show? And I'm saying it hypothetically. This has nothing to do with you. I'm just saying like role play that this is the situation you're in. You get on the show and you're like, ugh, this guy. Do you just say it, or do you have to play along? Like,
oh no, you don't have to play along. There are girls that self-eliminate along the way. Yeah. Like if they're not feeling it, or the guy does something to make them mad,
right? They'll
self-eliminate. And I think too, it's kind of like dating in the real world in a way where you're not going to click with everyone. If you click,
hope not.
If you
there's terms for
if
people
you
to
had a
click
connection with everyone, this would be so much easier.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that is probably actually truer than a person would think, because people that are people pleasers or have the ability to be a chameleon or convince themselves, I could like that, or I could get along with that, end up being the most miserable people. The people who are like, I'm already prepared for the fact that who I am is not going to work with everybody, and that's still better than trying to mesh into every situation and then losing yourself.
Right, for sure.
So that would maybe be the way of saying what I was trying to say earlier, is like how close to who you are as a person do you feel like you were able to be with all the extra added like structure or stimulus or all the things? Do you feel like watching it back, you're like, I feel like that's a pretty good look at who I was, or man, I don't feel like they really quite captured who I am? Wait. You smiled, which makes me feel like you might not want to say the part. I feel like there's going to be like a really nice answer, but if you don't want to answer that, that's okay. Is what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I don't think that I can.
There's no wrong answer.
I don't think that I can really answer the way that I want to, but I will say, as a whole, when you're watching reality TV is not real.
Right.
Some of it, not all of it is real. Some of it is real, but a lot of it is just, you don't get the full context. And, when you're filming for 12 hours a day and they're taking 20 seconds of little clips.
I probably asked that wrong, because I can understand that. You're leaving your story in the hands of someone else.
Yeah, you're really putting your life in their hands.
We know that that's the case.
Right.
What I meant really, let me say it this way, is how accurately did you feel like you were able to stay versus I kind of got lost in there? Like, I feel like if you get distracted or you're not sleeping or you're isolated, it's like, man, I just don't feel like I was myself. Did you feel like, according to your own standards, that you were able to kind of like, that's kind of who I was, even if the story maybe changed in the hands of an office somewhere? I
would say partly yes, partly no. There were times where I was like, man, that didn't exactly happen that way. Right. And or some of that happened, but there was the rest of the sentence was left out.
Yeah, without context,
you don't know, and you're filming for hours, and then they're only taking so much of it. And that's what I was saying about the storytellers is, they're able to,
they decide the story.
In
any reality show at all, that's the case.
Here's the thing. I knew what I was signing up for. I knew that you don't ever think it'll happen to you.
Agreed. I think most people say.
Right. And you really don't know, but I did know that it was possible that, and I think all of us that were on the show kind of had that experience of like, oh, well, where's the rest of that sentence?
Yeah.
But I look, even though I look back on it and I'm like, oh, I wish that more of what I said would have been shown, because it might have been, definitely would have been taken a different way.
It changes the understanding of the moment, for sure.
Right, because you can say, I'm mad, but I know that I'm one step closer to finding my husband, and I'm thankful for this experience. And they could just take, I'm mad.
Do you feel like since it ended, now you're back where you get to tell your own story? Now you're back in a life where you get to decide those things. Yeah, and
I think that I have been so blessed with good parents and a great family, great friends, great support system, to where it's like I knew what I signed up for, and I'm glad I did it. I know me, my family knows me, and it's all good.
How much has life changed? I don't know a lot. I do know this. I know there's always a period of time, there's things you can or can't say or whatever, so I don't mean to get into the specifics of that. Just at a general level, how would you say that life has changed since then? Good or bad? Good and bad?
I think my life has changed in such a good way after doing the show. I have met so many incredible people.
You just had a lady here. It's like, is that the lady from Farm 112? You're so cute.
She was
so
sweet.
She was so sweet. Pretty common?
I've been meeting a lot of people here at NFR that watch the show.
I feel like this is kind of the demographic.
For sure.
Sense.
This is
target rich environment.
These are my people.
Has anybody been like, I watch you on the show and I think you suck?
No.
I don't know. I've seen villains on shows, and I'm not saying you would have been, obviously, but like, has there been anybody who's like, no negative, nothing?
No. People
What?
are like, oh my, wait, what'd you say?
There's been no negative. Anybody's like, I saw the show and I was.
Oh, online, there's all, you know.
That doesn't count. Those aren't real people. That's
Yeah.
a bot. That doesn't count. In real life, you're saying
Yeah,
no.
but no, in real life, no. Everyone's so nice, and they're like, we were rooting for you. You know.
Do you feel like it's given you a new appreciation for your ability to tell your own story? You're like, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah,
I do
for
get
sure.
I do
Well-
get to decide things for myself.
Yeah, well, and that's the wonderful thing about. There's ups and downs to social media, but that's the wonderful thing is, you know, you kind of take the narrative back into your own hands and
Yeah.
get to tell your own story if you want to.
Did it change the way that you look at the entire dating experience in general?
No. It only changed the way that I watch TV.
Clip that. Yes. Yeah, you see the
Yeah.
wizard behind the curtain, you're like, oh, okay. That's, yeah.
I'm like,
You don't even have to get into detail.
I feel like she wasn't crying about that.
Yeah, right. That clip
Yeah.
might have been from a different, yeah.
Right.
So back to music now.
Yes.
Tell me about life. You're here for 2 days.
Yeah. Life is good. Life has really never been better. So yeah, just released a new song. It's called Bless Your Heart.
Bless your heart.
You know, I'm a Southern girl. We say that a lot.
And it's almost never a nice thing.
That's not true.
I said almost never. It can be.
It
Some
can
people,
be nice.
Bless your heart. But generally,
It's like, oh, Mama's not feeling good. Bless her heart. You
I
know?
was raised in Texas, and
You
maybe our
can-
bless your heart is different than yours. This
You
is a good question. Is there regional uses of bless your heart? Because like the people at home, occasionally yes, but usually it's like bless her heart. Like
It can be both. I stand by that.
I would just say
Not
my
everyone
experience, the
believes
majority
that.
of the time, it's to avoid saying anything negative. You're saying it's 50-50?
I say
You
it
wrote the song. I mean, you're the expert on the matter. I'm actually asking because
the song is more funny than anything. You know,
in what way is bless your heart? Is it
it's
Grandma said,
the
"Bless her
hook
heart."
is Mama always said, "Wish 'em the best, let the Lord do the rest." So I'll just bless your heart. That's fun.
is that
I should have put that on a T-shirt.
is that stitch that into a pillow? So is it full-time music now?
Yeah, I've
Has it
been
helped?
doing music
Nobody
full
wants to
time
say
for
I
a few
went on a
years.
show to promote my career. I get it. There's a stigma, whatever. But having done it, are you able to see like it didn't hurt? Like, are you seeing?
Oh,
some
it
momentum?
definitely didn't hurt. I think that it's brought a lot of people to my social media, and they're listening to the music, and I'm so thankful
Yeah.
for that. And yeah, I would say overall, I mean, it's been a positive experience for me. But yeah, I've been doing music full time for a few years now. I do like a lot of corporate gigs, birthday parties, things like that. I also play like regular shows.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing here at NFR. I played a show at Ariat yesterday at their store, and you know,
Is that hard in a trade show?
what?
Is it hard in a trade show? Was it a trade show setting?
I was actually in the store.
Where is the store?
The store is not very far from here. I don't know the lay of the land. I'm
Okay.
directionally
but you're
challenged.
saying offsite at the store at Ariat.
Right.
And then they had people come in.
Right.
I see.
Yeah. They have
Is it-
people shop in, music for them, like a stage set
Yeah.
up. And no, I mean, I do a lot of shows like that. I do stuff at trade shows, sometimes private gigs. So I'm kind of used to that environment. And it's been great. I wish I was staying here an extra day or two because we're here at Cowboy Christmas
decides
right now.
that?
Well, whenever
You're a
they
grown-up.
ask me, I know. And I'm kind of thinking about changing my flight.
Listen, I feel like you just got a little sassiness in your voice right there. Like
Look,
you can just do it. If
I'm
you want to
just
stay, you
saying,
can just do it. It's
Southwest
not like
makes it really
it's not,
easy.
It's not like you have to just go on a crusade to stay an extra couple days. It's just as easy as I want to stay an extra. When's Ross getting home?
I don't know.
What if he came out here?
He's on a hunting trip.
Well, I know, but till when?
I think he has a few days left. I think he's there until Monday. Then he goes to work.
So is
Yeah.
that something you talk about? Is that? I mean, we can clip
Yeah,
that.
sure. I don't think he would care.
So tell the people that don't know, Farmer wants a NASCAR driver, or wife wants a NASCAR driver.
That's great.
Is that a new show idea? Like
That's
wife wants a NASCAR
very
driver?
cute.
Ross Chastain,
Yes.
he is a NASCAR driver.
Yes.
What on earth is that life like?
You know,
Wait. I'm sorry I interrupted. I know. How many times has your circle of people brought up Talladega Nights with you dating a NASCAR driver? Is that a reference that you hear a lot?
Yes, because I have an ex named Ricky and an ex named Bobby.
No, you do not.
Yes, I do.
You do not, and you're dating.
Yes, I do. I'm like, how did this happen?
Well, so, okay, what's it like? Because I think historically the thought is like NASCAR drivers and the trophy wife thing, and it's kind of this whole like stereotype thing. What's it actually like?
Well, you know, I think for me, I didn't grow up with it. Like, I'm sure that my dad watched NASCAR at some point, but I don't really know much about NASCAR at all. Randomly, about 10 years ago, I was the NASCAR girl in a commercial, but that's really the extent of my NASCAR knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about NASCAR. I didn't realize that it's like a full-time thing. So for the people that know Ross, you know, he's a NASCAR driver and he is also a watermelon farmer. His family...
As everyone probably would have assumed.
Yeah, long-time watermelon farmer. So I just
You
thought,
wanted a farmer, and you finally got one. He just drives cars too.
Right.
I'm with you now.
It worked out for me.
Was the opening line like, well, I've planted some finger limes. You know, I've done a little farming in my day, mostly West Coast.
I have not used that line.
You're like, I get you.
Used that
this
line.
is pretty much my life too.
But I really thought, I was like, oh, he like farms watermelons during the week and then he races his car on Saturday and goes home back to farming. I really, really thought that. I had no clue. I just didn't know much about NASCAR.
I know about as much about NASCAR as I do about Farmer Wants a Wife, and I like it. I just don't. I'm with you. I know.
Yeah,
nothing.
you know, I have gone to a good many races with him now, and it's so fun to watch when you have someone to support.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's anything. Like I could get into anything if I knew who was doing it.
Exactly. Yeah, and I have so much fun going and watching and eating my snacks. I'll go up in the little box thing and. I'm sure they laugh at me because I go up there, take my shoes off, and
you do not.
I sure do.
That's gross.
It's not gross.
Take your shoes off. That's like the people on the airplane.
My feet are tired.
That's worse.
Do you know how much you walk around there?
That's worse. If your feet are tired and you're taking your shoes
My feet don't stink. Come on.
Next question.
Okay, fine. Moving along. They don't look at me weird.
No,
I'm sure they're like
they
this,
probably don't
girl.
want to make eye contact. You're the lady just took her shoes off. They're like, don't engage.
You walk a lot there, and I want to wear cute shoes.
I don't know. Maybe it's an NASCAR
Look,
thing.
I'm just eating an Uncrustable and drinking my Gatorade.
That I get with your shoes on.
Watching a NASCAR race.
Your Mississippi is showing.
Life is good. My Mississippi does show at the NASCAR races. That is for sure.
I love it. I would like to come to a race.
You should come.
I will. I want to.
You should come to one.
And so,
yeah. They're very fun. It's a lot more fun than I ever thought it would be.
Yeah, if you just tell him like he's guaranteed us, he'll keep his shoes on. He'll be civil.
I will keep my shoes on.
He'll act like a Christian. He's not going to be random nasty feet all over the place. No, all joking aside,
I'll do my best.
I actually would. And then I'd love to get Ross on here too. I think it'd be freaking awesome. So
he's a talker too.
That'd be awesome. That'd be cool. Hey, thank you for jumping on. I feel like I know. I don't know, 45 minutes % worth.
Educating you on reality TV.
Is there ever a reality show you would ever consider going on again of a different caliber? Survivor, anything like that?
Yeah, I think maybe. I would definitely.
You're open to it?
I'm open to it, but I would definitely have to think about it. I could never do Survivor, though. I don't know that I would do well with that.
Future wife beats a storyteller.
What?
Future wife gets to beat up a storyteller. If that was a reality show. No, I'm saying I was thinking about that separate from you. I was saying I just think that would be an interesting show title.
It would. It would.
I was just kidding. Hey, appreciate it. Bless your heart.
Yeah.
Apple, iTunes, all the Spotify,
all the places. Yeah, and I have other songs out too, so go check them out.
Awesome.
And thank you so much for having me. This is so fun.
Good. I appreciate it. Well, thanks for being patient with us. And
oh my gosh, this is so fun. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.